Hi, I'm going to talk today about Miro, Miro.com. Miro is a collaborative whiteboard platform that you can use, well, for yourself or more importantly with others to be able to work on different projects. I'm going to talk about some very basic navigation pieces to get started, but encourage you to check it out, play around with it. And then if you're really interested, there's lots of YouTube videos that talk about all the different things it can do. And what I found is that the more that I use it, then the more I actually figure out how everything works. So to get us started, you do have to create an account. It is free at Miro.com. There are paid account options. I would encourage you to use it first in the free account to see if it is something that you would want to use more than just the free version. There's lots of things you can do. And so when you create an account, I have like my Sprockets team, and then I was invited to a team. So I have two teams here. If I ever wanted another team, that would be a paid feature. So I'm not going to do that. But with each team, you can have up to 3 boards. And so because the boards are infinite, that there's so much you can do with those 3. So when you open up a board, it's going to be blank like this. And I mentioned that it's infinite, so you do need to know how to zoom in and zoom out. So you'll notice right now it's at 100%, and there are zoom features here. I have a scroller on my mouse, and so you can use that as well. Or if you have a mouse pad, by pinching in, that would be able to do that. You can do a text. So you can do a title, maybe for an activity or a project you're going to do. This is kind of big, so I'm going to make it a bit smaller. So again, it's got some similar, familiar type of navigation pieces to be able to edit that, to bold. If you wanted to do bullets, all of those things are available. Now, you'll notice that I clicked up here. This arrow serves 2 purposes. So it's our cursor. And so if I want to use it to be able to type, or if I wanted to move this box, make it bigger or whatever. Also, if you wanted just to be able to move your page around, then you would do the hand feature. So this lets you toggle in and out of those things. So with the words alone, with the text box, you could write lists, you could do all those things, but it also has Post-its. And so with the Post-its, you could click those on and you put your thoughts down, and you could have more here. You can change the color of the Post-its. You can tag the Post-its if you had lots of them and you wanted to give them certain titles or sort them in some ways. The other thing with Post-its is that you can obviously choose as many as you want, as many colors, but they have this bulk mode. So if you have like a list of things, so you had some thoughts, more thoughts, and one more thing, and you wanted to put those on, you could type them in and then it'll autofill them for you. So it's just a quick way to put those together without having to click on the icon each time. So you have those. We know there's a lot of different ways to use Post-its. You can sort them and move them around. This arrow confused me the first time I saw it because I thought it was like an arrow icon. It's not, it's a connection line. So this comes in handy if you have Post-its that are maybe connected in some way. So if this one had some similarities to this one, and I knew this had to come first, I might want to show that relationship this way. And then as I move it, it still will keep that connection. Now, it could be that there's like a process here. I have to do this first, and then this would come. Maybe I want to show another connection because after this one is this one here to the title. I guess I clicked it too fast. I'm going to Control Z, just like I would. I don't know if you know shortcuts, but Control Z lets you undo your last thing. I'm a big fan of that. So I'm going to undo that because I didn't mean to do it to the title. I meant to do it to this Post-it here. And so you can do it that way. So that shows relationships. You can also create comments. And so if you wanted to make comments or questions about something, you can add those on. And similar to comments in a Google document, you can resolve it or you can reply back and forth if you had some conversation around it. So there's lots of things you can do there. This frame, I mentioned that it is an infinite board. And so a frame helps you start to organize. And so that's just another term there. I'm going to get rid of this comment. There we go. To be able to put things together. So now as I zoom in or zoom out, you can see that that's there. Now it could be that I want another frame for a different activity and I have it there. If I go down to this left where there's frames, it says, it'll show those frames in a list here. And so then you can just click on the one that you want to go to. And that is really helpful if you have lots of things. I mentioned there's a lot of space on this board. So you can have a lot of different activities or a lot of different meeting notes or whatever those processes are you're using on this one board. There's shapes. So again, similar to maybe some of the other platforms, or whether it's Google or Word documents that you've used, you can change the color of it. You can make them solid, or you can keep them so that they are open. So that's also helpful. The other thing with the shapes is that you may want to create, oh, I didn't mean to do the circle, so I'm going to delete that just by pushing my delete button. If I wanted to put a box, so for example, if I decided that I wanted to have a box in here that I could put Post-its in, I might change it so that it's a solid color. And I could even put a text box and title it, and then that way we could move the Post-its. So you notice when I moved it, it went behind it. So similar to other things where you're like layering pieces, you can click on it. And if you go to the, I clicked on the more, those 3 dots, you can send it back. And so that's where you can layer things like you would normally. And so again, this more feature shows all the different things you can copy, just different pieces like that. And so if you wanted to and you're creative and you have ideas on how you want to do that, you can. The other thing is that they have a lot of templates. So this is like a rabbit hole of things if you have an afternoon to do. But what you can do is you can check out these different templates that would load up already kind of created for you with some Post-its. So let's add this one in just as an example. So here we have one that was created. And so with this one, you know, you can go in and it's like, wow, actually, I really like this. It's super easy. It's already together, but I don't like the word bad, right? Language matters. And so maybe I want to put what was challenging. And then you'll notice that with these pre-framed things, when I click on it, this bar that's up here, you can ungroup items or you could group them. So right now, if I drag on this, these 4 items in the back, they're all grouped together. I actually want to keep them grouped so that I don't mess it up, but you could ungroup it if you wanted to, or if you wanted to move things around. These Post-its are all individual, but if you wanted to group them, similarly, you would click on it and you could push down your shift button and click on the other ones, and then it allows you that option. So here's the icon for group objects. And so now these are grouped. If I wanted to group this to the background, again, I'd push shift and click on this. It comes up, I have the option to ungroup or group. I'm going to group them. So now those are connected together. So that's one of the things to know, is that things can be grouped or kept separate so that you can move individual things around, or if there's pieces you want to keep static, you can do that as well. Last couple things, there's a pen. It is a writing feature. Similarly, you know, you can draw things or circle or create arrows. You can upload. You can upload images, or you can even upload a PowerPoint or a type of thing from your Google Drive if you add that in. There's also other features like emojis. And so there's lots of fun things you can do, like I said, as you go deeper into it and as you use your creativity to figure out how you would want to use these boards. But again, just for the basics, my recommendation is open an account, create it, it's free. Start playing around with some of these features, seeing how things lock or unlock with these frames, so that you can make it so that they stay on the board, or you can hold it down so that now you can move it around. So all kinds of different pieces that once you start getting to use it, you really do find that there's a lot of different things that you can do. So I'll be excited to see you at our meeting, if we have a meeting together, and start using this in some real life examples. And also excited to hear how you all are starting to use it with your either staff, colleagues, or with young people.